The United States just eliminated 48 of Iran's most powerful officials, but one man survived. He holds no official title. He almost never appears in public, and right now, he is emerging as the next ruler of Iran. His name is Mojtaba Khamenei, the second son of the supreme leader who was just killed. Why is this man so dangerous? Let me tell you the whole story. To understand this story, you first need to understand how Iran actually works. The most powerful person in Iran is not the president, it's the supreme leader, known as the Rahbar. The Rahbar can disqualify presidential candidates before they even run. Even after a president wins the election, the Rahbar must approve the result before they can take office. He holds veto power over every single piece of legislation. And on top of all that, it's a lifetime position. He never steps down. He rules until the day he dies.
Iran's first Rahbar was Ayatollah Khamenei, the man who toppled the Pahlavi dynasty and led the Islamic Revolution in 1979. Ali Khamenei was Khomeini's religious disciple and closest confidant. When his master took power, Khamenei was placed in key positions, including Deputy Minister of Defense. By 1981, he was elected president, and he served 2 consecutive terms. Then, in 1989, Khomeini passed away from old age.
And that's when the problem started. Iran's constitution required that the Rahbar must be a marja, the highest-ranking cleric in Shia Islam. But Khamenei was not a marja. So what did he do? He changed the constitution. He lowered the qualification from marja to mushtahid, a senior-level theologian. To put it in Catholic terms, imagine the rule says only a cardinal can become pope, but someone rewrites it so that any priest with a doctorate in theology qualifies, and then that very person sits on the throne. That's exactly what Khamenei did. And so, Khamenei became the Rahbar. He has effectively ruled Iran since 1989. But here's the thing. Khamenei was born in 1939. Even for a lifetime appointment, the clock was running out. That made the question of succession the single biggest issue in Iranian politics. And the #1 candidate to succeed him was President Ebrahim Raisi. On May 19, 2024, President Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash. Just like that, the top successor was gone. And when the #1 is eliminated, the #2 moves up. The person who benefited most from Raisi's death? Mojtaba Khamenei. As you might have guessed from the name, he is the second son of Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader himself. Mojtaba Khamenei. There is a very specific reason this man is terrifying. He holds no official government position whatsoever, and yet he controls the personnel decisions of the most powerful military force in Iran, the Revolutionary Guard and the Basij. If you don't understand these two organizations, you cannot understand Iran. Back in 1979, when the revolution overthrew the Pahlavi dynasty, the Iranian military stayed neutral. They didn't pick a side. Religious leaders like Khomeini saw this and came to one conclusion: the regular army can't be trusted. So they created the Revolutionary Guard. Think of it as a religious army. Iran's constitution defines its mission clearly: to defend the Islamic system against coups and foreign interference. That's a completely different role from the regular military, which handles border defense. At the very bottom of the Revolutionary Guard sits a militia called the Basij. You can join as young as 11 years old. There are 50,000 Basij chapters across the entire country. The total membership? Roughly 15 million people. There are even regulations requiring that at least 40% of university students and 20% of graduate students be Basij members. This is an organization the state actively nurtures. The most devout and capable members are hand-picked and promoted into the Revolutionary Guard. In Iran, every young man must serve in one of three branches: the Revolutionary Guard, the regular army, or the law enforcement force. Among the three, the Revolutionary Guard is by far the most popular. The reason is simple. Once you serve in the Guard, senior members in government and state-owned enterprises pull you up and push you forward. The Revolutionary Guard moves roughly $100 billion a year, about 30% of Iran's entire GDP. A force of just 150,000 effectively controls the 540,000-strong regular army. The recent mass protests by Iran's younger generation are directly tied to this structure. The anger comes from Revolutionary Guard veterans monopolizing the best jobs in the country. But here's the cruel irony. The ones who crush those protests are the Revolutionary Guard and the Basij themselves. And the man who quietly controls the personnel of both these massive organizations from behind the scenes? Mojtaba Khamenei, without a single official title to his name. Let me connect the dots. Iran is ruled by the Rahbar. The Rahbar's power is backed by the Revolutionary Guard. The Revolutionary Guard's personnel decisions are controlled by Mojtaba Khamenei. And the man who was supposed to be the next Rahbar, President Raisi, is already dead from a helicopter crash. If his father were to die, the entire power structure was already in place to pass everything to Mojtaba. The succession machine was already built. And then it happened. The United States eliminated 48 of Iran's top officials, including Khamenei himself. Ali Khamenei, the father, is reported to have been killed in the strike, but Mojtaba Khamenei appears to have survived. Reports are now pouring in that he is the leading candidate to take over. The power structure his father spent decades building is still intact, and the person who understands that structure better than anyone is still alive. So, what happens if Mojtaba Khamenei inherits his father's throne and becomes the next Rahbar? Experts are warning that we could see a far more hardline Iran than anything before. Think about it, a man whose father was killed by the United States becoming Iran's ruler for life, a man who already controls the personnel of the Revolutionary Guard and 15 million Basij members. But on the other hand, if Mojtaba actually died in the strike, the entire power structure of Iran could collapse. Right now, Iran stands at the most dangerous crossroads it has ever faced. Who becomes Iran's next Rahbar? This is not just an internal Iranian problem. It is a question that could reshape the entire Middle East. If Mojtaba Khamenei is alive, we will have our answer very soon. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one.